Let's break down the European Union, the EU. Imagine a club, but instead of people, it's 27 countries like Germany, France and Spain, all working together. They share a flag, an anthem, and a mountain of rules, managing the lives of nearly 450 million people. The EU began after World War II, aiming to tie countries together through trade so tightly that war would be unthinkable. It's not a country, but a partnership. Each nation keeps its own government and culture. The EU is run by the European Parliament, elected lawmakers, the Commission proposes laws, and the Council, leaders making big decisions. Think of it as a massive, ongoing group project, sometimes messy, but always aiming for cooperation. The goal? Balance national pride with the benefits of working together. It's a unique experiment, independent countries, united by choice. And it's still evolving. So, what's the EU's main job? Creating a single market, a giant zone where goods, services, money, and people move freely. No more border hassles for businesses or travelers. A French company can sell wine in Germany as easily as at home. Citizens can live, work, or study anywhere in the EU. No special visas needed. The EU sets common rules for product safety, environmental standards, and more, leveling the playing field. This protects consumers and stops companies from cutting corners. Together, the EU countries have more power on the world stage, negotiating trade deals and tackling global issues as one. Alone, each country is small. Together, they're a superpower. It's all about strength in numbers. The single market is the EU's backbone. It's ambitious, but it's what makes the EU more than just a treaty. That's the theory. Now, let's see what it means in real life. The EU's biggest perks? Freedom of movement and a massive single market. Thanks to the Schengen area, you can travel across most of Europe without border checks. Breakfast in Brussels, dinner in Paris, no passport lines. Businesses get access to 450 million consumers, and shoppers enjoy more choices and lower prices. The euro, used by 20 countries, means no more currency exchanges or surprise fees. But the biggest win is peace. Countries that once fought are now partners. War between EU members is almost unimaginable today. The EU also funds infrastructure, enforces strong environmental laws, and protects consumer rights, like refunds for delayed flights and no roaming charges. These everyday benefits add up. The EU isn't perfect, but for many, it's made life easier, safer, and more connected. Travel, trade, and peace. Those are the headline achievements, and they're easy to take for granted. Of course, the EU has problems, big ones. 27 countries rarely agree on everything. National interests often clash. Wealthier members resist bailing out others, and East-West divides over democracy and law spark tension. Critics say the EU is run by distant bureaucrats, making people feel disconnected. Endless rules can overwhelm small businesses, fueling complaints about red tape. Major crises like the migrant influx or COVID-19 have exposed the limits of EU unity. It's a fragile balance, and sometimes solidarity breaks down. So, does the EU work? The answer, mostly, but not perfectly. Its biggest successes, peace, free movement, and economic cooperation, are historic. When united, the EU can act powerfully, as seen in its response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But deep divisions remain, from the Eurozone crisis to Brexit. The EU is a work in progress, sometimes frustrating, often messy, but ultimately valuable. For most members, the benefits outweigh the headaches. The EU isn't flawless, but it's a bold experiment in cooperation. And for now, it's still holding together.